part of the comprehensive safety and health training program. It's probably happened to most of us, that momentary lapse of inattentive thinking about a personal problem or distraction by an activity that ends in a slip, trip, or fall, a stumble down a stairway, a trip over an uneven surface, slipping on the ice. Inattentive thinking can lead to a variety of regrettable events, ranging from a simple bruised shin to an extremely serious injury, and is just one of a variety of conditions and situations that set the stage for slips, trips, and falls in the workplace. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, slips, trips, and falls make up the majority of general industry accidents and are 19% of disabling injuries. Slips, trips, and falls are a leading cause of fatalities and 100% preventable. Establishing programs and safety procedures are necessary in the prevention of slips, trips, and falls. The OSHA Walking and Working Surfaces Regulation applies to all permanent places of employment. Discussed in this training will be the causes of slips, trips, and falls, identifying the hazards associated with walking and working surfaces, common preventative measures, and discussion of safety techniques for reducing the impact of slips, trips, and falls. In general, slips and trips occur due to a loss of traction between the shoe and the walking surface, or an inadvertent contact with a fixed or movable object which may lead to a fall. There are a variety of situations that may cause slips, trips, and falls. Slip, trip, and fall hazards resulting from housekeeping practices, or the lack of, include wet or greasy floors, dry floors with wood dust or powder, clutter, spills not properly cleaned up, or wet leaves or pine needles. Irregular construction elements or poor building and property maintenance can promote hazards for slips, trips, and falls, such as uneven walking surfaces, polished or freshly waxed floors, loose flooring, carpeting or mats, poor lighting, transitions from one floor type to another, missing or uneven floor tiles and bricks, ramps and gangplanks without skid-resistant surfaces, damaged or irregular stair steps, no handrails, sloped walking surfaces, metal surfaces, dock plates, construction plates, poor or inadequate lighting, and damaged ladder steps. Another source of hazards can be from improper use of equipment and employee actions, not being mindful of shoes with wet, muddy, greasy, or oily soles, leaving open desk or file cabinet drawers, and tools and equipment not picked up after use are controllable employee actions. Improper use of ladders and stairs, wearing shoes not designed for the surfaces of use, improper placement of electrical cords or cables, obstructions such as hoses stretched across an aisle, and unsafe behavior such as horseplay or jumping from high places are all employee actions that can lead to slips, trips, and falls. Rain, sleet, ice, snow, hail, and frost prevent outdoor walking and working surface hazards as well as indoor wet surfaces from frequent foot traffic at exterior doorways during weather events. Placing a focus on preventative measures is the best practice to eliminate slip, trip, and fall hazards. Proper housekeeping, maintaining aisles and passageways, appropriate installation of covers and guardrails, accurate floor loading protection indicators, and correct use of ladders, stairs, and scaffolding all contribute to safe walking and working surfaces. General housekeeping requirements include keeping workplaces clean, orderly, and sanitary, maintaining floors as clean and dry as possible, and ensuring all floors, workplaces, and hallways are free of nails, splinters, holes, and loose boards. Aisles and passageways must be kept clear and in good repair. Permanent aisles and passageways must be marked to ensure nothing is stored or placed in them. Where mechanical equipment, such as forklifts, are used, aisles, loading docks, and doorways must be maintained with sufficient safe access. Covers or guardrails must be provided to protect employees from the hazards of open pits, tanks, vats, ditches, etc. A floor opening is any opening in a floor into which a person can walk. Floor openings must be guarded by a standard guardrail or a cover of standard strength and construction and marked as hole. While the cover is not in place, it must be protected by a standard guardrail or constantly observed until recovered. Some types of floor openings are stairway floor openings, ladderway floor openings or platforms, hatchway and chute floor openings, and skylight floor openings and holes. Designed floor load ratings must be conspicuously posted where items are stored. It is unlawful to place a load rating limit exceeding the limit which has been approved by the building official. Portable ladders must be maintained in good condition and inspected frequently for defects. Ladders should be inspected before use. Check for cracks, loose rungs, slivers, and sharp edges. Never paint ladders, as the paint can hide potentially dangerous conditions. Check the condition of each step. Remove dirt, oil, grease, and other substances that could cause slips. If defects are found, the ladder must be tagged out of service and removed from service. Portable ladders are designed as a one-man working ladder based on a 200-pound load and must not be used for anything other than the intended use. Step ladders longer than 20 feet are prohibited for use. Straight ladders, single length or individual sections must not exceed 30 feet. Extension ladders must not exceed 60 feet in length when fully extended. Short ladders must not be spliced together to make long ladders. Stairs must be kept clear at all times. They must be kept free of grease, oil, and obstacles which could cause slips and trips. Do not store items on the stairs even if for a short time. Stairwells should be well lit, with sturdy handrails on both sides. Persons using the stairwell should have one hand free to be able to use the handrail. All the steps should have the same rise and depth with visible edges. There are several general requirements that must be observed when using scaffolding. Scaffolding must be designed and erected to support 4 times the maximum intended load and not altered without the manufacturer's approval or moved while personnel are on the scaffolding. Workers on the scaffolding must be protected from overhead hazards. When scaffolding exceeds 10 feet, an approved guardrail system must be installed. If people are working or walking underneath the scaffold, wire mesh or similar material must be used to prevent tools or material falling to the next level, and all scaffolding must be equipped with a ladder or equivalent to provide safe access. Falls are one of 2 basic types: same-level falls and elevated falls. Same-level falls have a high frequency rate with a low severity impact, while elevated falls have a high severity impact but report a low frequency rate. Same-level falls are generally slips or trips. Injury results when the individual hits a walking or working surface or strikes some other object during the fall. Same-level falls are generally described as slip and fall, trip and fall trips, and step and fall. Elevated falls are less frequent but more severe than same-place falls in the workplace. Over 60% of elevated falls are from less than 10 feet, and on average, 17% of all serious injuries in the workplace are from elevated levels. Elevated falls are categorized in basic groups: falls on stairs, falls from vehicles and equipment, falls from loading docks, and falls from ladders. How slippery a surface is depends on what the surface is made of, and then add water, a spilled substance, grease, oil, a fresh wax or polish, and the potential for slips and creases. Slips are primarily caused by a slippery surface and compounded by wearing the wrong footwear. The force that allows you to walk without slipping is commonly referred to as traction. The level of traction depends on the quality of both the walking surface and the soles of your shoes. Providing dry walking and working surfaces and slip-resistant footwear is the answer to slips and their resultant falls and injuries. High heels with minimal heel-to-surface contact and shoes with leather or other hard, smooth-surfaced soles compound the hazard of slippery surfaces. High heels can also get caught in floor grates. Shoes with rubber-cleated, soft soles provide high traction. Also, when selecting shoes, consider what chemicals or other substances they will be exposed to. When you can't avoid walking on slippery surfaces, choose the best shoes for the job. Wear shoes that provide high traction between the walking surface and the sole of the shoe. Walk slower than you usually do and take smaller, compacted steps. Bend your knees a little and point your toes out slightly. In work areas where the walking and working surface is likely to be slippery, floor mats, non-skid strips, or floor coatings should be used. When wet surfaces are unavoidable, use moisture-absorbent mats with beveled edges in entrance areas to remove excess moisture and wetness from the soles of shoes. The mats should have a non-skid bottom and be changed as often as necessary. Use display signs to warn of wet floor. After floor mat use, the soles or tread of shoes may retain moisture, so use caution as you proceed. Use non-skid strips and floor coatings in troublesome areas to increase traction capability. Trips and falls occur when the front foot strikes an object and is suddenly stopped. The upper body is then thrown forward and a fall occurs. As little as 3/8 of an inch rise in a walkway can cause a person to stub his or her toe, resulting in a trip and fall. Be aware of and respecting a trip and fall hazard plays an important role in the prevention of serious trip and fall injuries. Take time to follow safe procedures by eliminating or removing the hazard. Close drawers after getting what you need. Hoses and cords should never become permanent fixtures across an aisle. If they are needed for more than just a few moments, the hose or cord should be secured to the floor. Rope off areas where a number of tools and parts are required for a job. After you're finished with a job, be sure to pick up tools and equipment. Use markings and warning signs for potentially hazardous areas. Colored striping or highly visible markings can be used to show level changes in a floor surface and indicate the entrance to a ramp area. Also, carrying an oversized object can obstruct one's vision and result in a slip or a trip. Another type of working and walking surface fall is the step and fall. This occurs when the front foot lands on a surface lower than expected, such as when unexpectedly stepping off a curb in the dark. In this type of fall, the person normally falls forward. A second type of step and fall occurs when one steps forward or down and either the inside or outside of the foot lands on an object higher than the other side. The ankle turns and one tends to fall forward and sideways. There are specific behaviors which can lead to step and fall injuries. Behavior is the toughest condition to control. It is human nature to let our guard down for short periods of time and be distracted by random thoughts or doing multiple activities. Being in a hurry will result in walking too fast or running, which increases the chances of a slip, trip, or fall. Taking shortcuts, sudden direction changes, not watching where one is going, using a cell phone, carrying materials which obstructs the vision, wearing sunglasses in low light areas, not using designated walkways, and speed are common elements in many on-the-job injuries. These and other behaviors caused by lack of knowledge, impatience, or bad habits developed from past experiences can lead to falls and serious injuries. Trip and fall trips or falls on stairs can happen going up or down a flight of stairs. Only a slight difference in the height of subsequent steps can cause a person to trip and fall. 80% of falls on stairs occur on the first two or last two steps. 90% of stairway falls are due to unsafe behavior. Stairways deserve your full concentration. Falls often happen when you are in a hurry or thinking of something else. Do not run up or down stairs. Do not skip a step. Be sure to use the hand railing and never carry a load that requires use of both hands or blocks vision, or it makes it difficult to maintain balance. Carry smaller, lighter loads and make more trips, or obtain help with the load. Far too many injuries occur in the simple process of getting in and out of trucks, on or off tractors, machinery, wagons, trailers, or truck beds. When the steps are metal, there is low traction, which becomes even lower if they are wet, muddy, or oily. Keep the steps clean and dry. Whenever mounting or climbing on a vehicle or machine, always face the vehicle or equipment and have a good handhold before stepping up. Pulling yourself up reduces the force between your shoe and the step, which reduces the danger of a slip. As with a ladder, the foot should be placed on the step or rung just in front of your heel under the arch. Again, always face the equipment when dismounting. When stepping down backward, one steps down on the ball of the foot, giving more traction. When stepping down forward, one lands on the heel, thus increasing the chances of falling, twisting an ankle or knee, or suffering some other injury. Practice the three-point system. This system can significantly reduce the chances of injuring yourself through a slip or fall while entering or exiting a vehicle. The three-point system means that 3 of your 4 limbs are in contact with the vehicle at all times. Only one limb is in motion at any one time. One more tip that will save you from many sprains or worse: when getting off the bed of a truck or wagon or any similar level, step down backward. Never jump or fall down forward. Loading docks are dangerous areas. They are frequently congested, heavy traffic areas, with working and walking surfaces that are often wet. Metal dock plates can wear smooth and become very slippery. In particular, the edge of a dock plate invites trips and falls. Accidental backward steps can result in a fall from the dock. Portable railings, which can be easily removed from the edge of the dock, could prevent many dangerous falls. Portable railings are removed when a truck or trailer is at the dock and replaced as soon as the truck or trailer leaves. Proper housekeeping, well-designed traffic patterns, and the use of abrasive, skid-resistant surface coatings will reduce the risk of slips, trips, and falls on loading docks. When climbing up or down a ladder, the three-point system must be used to ensure safety. Always face the ladder and use both hands when climbing or descending. The rung should be just in front of the heel in the arch of the foot. Small tools may be carried in a tool belt, not in the hands, but a better choice is to raise tools and supplies with a tow line. Another frequent cause of ladder-related injuries is attempting to reach too far left or right. When working on a ladder, the person's belt buckle should never extend beyond the side rails. Reaching further can cause the ladder to slide in the opposite direction. Tying the ladder to the support structure can prevent this and is a recommended practice. Ladders should be set at or as near as possible to a 4-to-1 angle. For each 4 feet of rise from the base to the upper resting edge of the ladder, the base should be 1 foot out from a vertical line from the upper resting edge of the ladder to the working surface. For example, if a ladder is leaning against a ledge that is 16 feet off the ground, the base of the ladder should be 4 feet back from the wall. The base of the ladder must be firmly set so that there is no possibility of slippage or settling into soft ground. The resting edge of the ladder should have both side rails in contact with the object it is against. Tying the top of the ladder to the supporting structure can also keep the ladder from slipping or sliding. When an extension ladder is used to gain access to a roof or similar area, the ladder should extend at least 3 feet above the edge of the point of support. Also, the top step of a step ladder is not designed to be used to gain height, but to be used as a tool support. If it is necessary to use a portable ladder in a doorway or heavy traffic area, use precaution and block off the area. Secure the doorway or have a coworker stand at the door while the ladder is in use. Good housekeeping is critical. Safety and housekeeping go hand in hand. If your facility's housekeeping habits are poor, the result may be a higher incidence of employee injuries, ever-increasing insurance costs, and regulatory citations. If an organization's facilities are noticeably clean and well-organized, it is a good indication that its overall safety program is effective as well. Proper housekeeping in work and walking areas is a routine and is still the most effective control measure in avoiding slip, trip, and fall injuries. It is an ongoing procedure that is simply done as part of each worker's daily performance. This means allowing time for cleaning the area, especially where scrap metal or waste is a byproduct of the work operation. One method which promotes good housekeeping in work environments is the painting of yellow lines to identify working and walking areas. Adequate lighting to ensure proper vision is also important in the prevention of slips and falls. Moving from light to dark areas, or vice versa, can cause temporary vision problems that might be just enough to cause a person to slip on an oil spill or trip over a misplaced object. Use proper illumination in walkways, staircases, ramps, hallways, basements, construction, and dock areas. Keep areas around light switches clear and accessible, and upon entering a darkened room, always turn on the light first. Keep poorly lit walkways clear of clutter and obstructions. Naturally, the goal is not to slip, trip, and fall. However, the possibility of a fall still exists. There are correct ways to fall. When falling, the objective is to have as many square inches of your body contact the surface as possible, thus spreading out the impact of the fall. Listed are some recommended procedures. Tuck your chin in, turn your head, and throw an arm up. It is better to land on your arm than on your head. While falling, twist or roll your body to the side. It is better to land on your buttocks and side than on your back. Keep your wrists, elbows, and knees bent. Do not try to break the fall with your hands or elbows. If you find yourself in a slip, trip, or fall, free your hands from any objects you're holding, protect your most vulnerable points, and try to spread the force of the fall's impact. You may think slips, trips, and falls are not big problems, but the statistics prove otherwise. Awareness of slip, trip, and fall hazards is important. Be aware of the possibilities no matter where you work. Respecting the hazards and following established safety procedures are essential parts of the prevention process. Follow procedures and make a commitment to protect yourself from injury. When a hazard is present, try to eliminate the hazard and, if that is not possible, warn others about the hazard until the problem can be reported to a supervisor or safety manager for corrective action. You are in the best position to notice, correct, or report hazardous behaviors and conditions. Thank you for completing the Walking and Working Surfaces employee training. To exit the training presentation, select the Store Time button, then select the Close button to close the training presentation window. Next, select the Refresh button on the course listing screen to show the updated status of your training presentation as complete. Now that your training presentation is complete, you can proceed to the course test. If you have any questions, please contact your training supervisor.